Jody, how you doing, buddy?
Hey, what's going on, man? How is
We are back.
everything? I finally
So
got a new background.
I'm sitting in a hotel in Brandon, Manitoba. And what the hell are we doing? I'm at a conference for municipal politicians.
Well, it's good that you can, sit there and still have time to do this show while you're real busy. So, but I'm telling you what, I'm excited for it because this weekend we got all kind of stuff. We got Washington State Championships featuring 3 super matches. We got the Monster Factory featuring like 20 matches or something like that. That's what it feels like.
A lot. It's a lot of matches.
But Jay Clean's in the house, already cracking on my Beavers. That's okay, Jay Clean. We'll be all right. Marco GT5's in the house. Jim Carr, Abu Loot in the house. So where you want to start at? You want to start at maybe Washington State, since that won't take a lot of time?
Yep.
3 super matches. And of course, Tim had chimed in last week saying that, hey, there's some incentive to people who win the open class, right? There's some Vital incentive with all that. But,
right.
But we got 3 super matches on the card, and they go in order like this. I'll be first to kick things off. And did you know this will be the 3rd year at Washington State? Now we're going to make it an annual thing that we do a Hall of Fame ceremony to kick the whole event off first. So we always do that now. So that's pretty cool. Now, Paul Stevens out of San Diego, California. He trains with Alan Fisher. So that is my opponent. Him and I got some battles the last few years, and we're kind of like this. There goes me, there goes him, there goes me, there goes him. So we're pretty much, representing the Masters, representing the 40 and over club, man. We're going to kick things off, best of 5 left-handed, and let the pieces fall they may.
You guys should do the loser leaves town.
Well, there you go. What do you think about CM Punk coming back? What do you think about that?
I think it's garbage. I think CM Punk is the most overrated wrestler in the history of wrestling.
I think Triple H agrees, but because right now
the only thing he's worse at is fighting.
Oh God, that was dude. He should have never gotten to that. I'm like, bro, just don't. But he brings eyes to the set. That's basically what Triple H is, wanting. So, but nonetheless, he's back. We'll see where it goes from there, storyline wise. So, prediction: Paul Stevens might get on here. Yes, sorry, Paul, I'm going to win. That's how that goes. Who's the GOAT of wrestling? Oh, I mean, that depends on who you talk to. Depends on what era you live in too, because you and I growing up, it was Flair and Hogan who was the best, this, that, and the other. Mix in Ultimate Warrior if you want. Mix in Andre the Giant. There's all kind of people.
I would never claim that the Ultimate Warrior is the best wrestler.
Next generation was probably Stone Cold, The Rock, or Taker. Then after that, it'd be Cena. So, I mean, it all depends on when you grew up, what era you did. So, yeah, see, Macho Man. So it all depends on.
Don't forget the Macho.
What's that?
For me, if I look back, on everything, and I look at, and we're way off track now. If I'm thinking about who the greatest wrestling match I've ever seen is, it's probably Steamboat and Savage from WrestleMania 3. And because of that, I will say that Randy Savage is the greatest in-ring performer, because the other 2 matches that are arguably the best of all time involve both Steamboat and Flair, and one of them is Flair versus Savage. Anyway, back on track.
Yeah, I'd probably say Stone Cold and Bret Hart, WrestleMania 13. I throw it up there too. But yes, getting back, Archdog, yes, thank you very much for your comments about the Arm Wars. It appeared for everyone to see, so that took place back in March this year, earlier. But getting back. Uncle John will be in the house. He will be in Vancouver, Washington this Saturday. I will see him in person, the new and improved Uncle John. He takes on Jordan Gage, or Gage Jordan, sorry. And I'm telling you, he surprised everybody last year when he was just shoulder pressing the heck out of Jordan Seal. And, talking with Uncle John, he seems that, if all he does is press, Uncle John said on my show that he's ready for anything. So I think Uncle John takes that. I'm curious to see this version.
I think so too.
This new version of Uncle John in person.
It's he looks impressive. We shall see. We'll see if the Photoshop is real.
Because he is 250-ish. So I've never known John in person to be that big. You've seen him in the past, he was 300 pounds, over 300 pounds.
I've seen him that big, but it wasn't the same type of big.
Right. Got down to 198, then went to 220. Now he's 250. And I think he said at one point, his last Armed Gods event, he was at 260. So there was always that. So I'm thinking, oh, okay. Interesting. I think John
is a very tall guy. He's not very tall. So 260 on him is huge.
I mean, the wide back and shoulders, I'm like, bro, damn, So then the main event, of course, Tim Thomas himself, Mr. Arm Sports Entertainment, taking on Jordan Seal. And this will be a very important match. It seems like everywhere Jordan is, Tim's there too. So they just seem to always connect, So I'm excited for that match. Love Jordan to death. Love him to death. I still want another crack at him. But I'm going to have to roll my guy Tim, in this one for the upset.
I think he's ready for that too. So far, we agree.
Yeah. So I'm thinking this guy, Uncle John and Tim for the upset. Those are my predictions for Washington State. That is all, aside from guys coming from Australia coming to Washington State. South Carolina, there's a rumor Quillen Mendez might be in the house. Who knows? But there's going to be all kind of people coming there. Nevada, California, Idaho, you name it. Guys will be there. So, but yeah.
Let's talk
Washington State.
Let's talk Monster Factory. Where do you want to begin?
Let's do it.
Want to focus on the main cards we'll start with the Friday night?
Yeah, you got the list in front of you?
It's a 2-day event, guys. Yeah.
All right, what you got?
All right, let me pull up my match list here. I asked Michael for it this morning. So there's been some changes to the card because of injuries and that sort of thing. But let's see. If we're looking on Friday night, Dallas versus Brandon Left.
Dallas Langston?
Are we talking Dallas Langston versus Brandon Alcesor?
Let me see it because I actually saved the poster.
I'm cross-referencing here.
You said Friday night?
Yeah.
Yes,
Friday
it is.
Night.
So this is the main card. This is Saturday.
This is Friday night on the main card. Yeah. No. They pull twice. So this one on Friday is left.
Oh,
on Saturday, they're going to pull right-handed.
Gotcha. Okay, but we got some awesome names though. So left-hand is Friday, yes?
That is correct.
So define significantly heavier because they're around give or 10, or give or taking 10 pounds, 5 pounds either way. I don't know how much heavier Dallas may be, but I know he can make the weight. I don't know if they agreed on the weight. Left hand, I'm going to say Dallas.
Yeah.
And I know Dallas is going to find some way to slip and get into the strap. That's his game. And I'm not saying that he can't pull out of it. It's just I think he's perfected that now. That's actual for him. He's made that a style of his. Let's be real. We got styles now, right? Flop, shoulder press.
We got styles.
top roll, king's move, hook, call it what you want. I think now we're at a point now in this sport that the strap match is now an actual style now. Do you agree?
Well, it's definitely like he relies heavily on it, so I guess you could call it that.
Right. And like I said, I mean, the last time I saw Brandon pull was at the East versus West, you know. So it's going to be interesting to see what he does this time, you know.
Here's the thing with I had a lot of trouble trying to find information on this card.
They didn't promote it as much as you would think.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. So I was searching and I could find like the poster for the individual matches.
Right.
But I couldn't find like one that had all the information in one place.
Well, I got this right here. I don't know if y'all can see that. Probably not.
I can't because your background is like making it transparent.
Oh, sorry. Well, yeah, I got like the poster with all the people on there. So I do have that. There's some guys missing here too, but nonetheless, there it is.
There it is. Well, who you taking?
I'm going with
you said Dallas. I'm taking Brandon.
All right, here we go. Should we write these down?
Well, maybe.
Yeah, you know. Next one we have Roger Learn and Craig Sublair. Roger out of Pennsylvania, Craig Sublair out of Florida. Roger Learn was supposed to be
I don't have that on Friday.
You don't?
No, I have it on the undercard on Saturday.
I'll be damned. Yeah, I mean, again, I'm looking at it, I'm like going, I don't know what day is what now, because it's just it hasn't been really, you know, promoted the way
I got Brent Rakers versus Rex Forbes right-handed on Friday on the main card.
I don't even see him. I don't even see a Friday card. Well, I looked on Michael's maybe I didn't go far enough, but I looked on Michael's Facebook and saw that. It's just I don't know.
Michael sent this to me this morning in a message.
Oh, did he? Oh, okay.
Yeah. So this is the updated list.
Well, then go ahead. Then go with it because, like I said, it wasn't promoted like I thought it would.
That's the next one. Rex Forbes versus Brent Rakers, right-handed, Friday night main card. I don't know anything about Rex Forbes.
All I know is Brent Rakers is a stud, and at some point there are championship titles at the Monster Factory, and I think Rakers is in line for a title shot there.
Yes, he is. So I got to go with Rakers because I don't really know anything about the other guy.
Well, Jay Clean said, is this the first time Rakers has made an appearance? No, he wasn't. He was there when I went at Monster Factory 4. He was there back in April. Rakers was there. He's been there prior to that too. So no, he's a mainstay there.
Yeah. Okay.
Rakers, let's go. Gotcha.
Blake versus BJ.
Is that Blake Perry and BJ Fokakis?
Yep.
Ooh, I don't know, man, because you can go. I mean, depending on which way the wind blows, you can go either way.
Well, I'll take BJ because that was supposed to be my opponent at the Monster Factory, but I pulled out of the event. But yeah, I want BJ to keep winning because when I come back, it's going to get lined up at some point.
And I'm still bummed out you can't go, but you're not going to go.
Well, it is what it is. I just needed some time away from competing.
I get it. Sometimes you need that break, and I totally get that. You know, so yes, we'll go with BJ because I do want you to make some noise when you do come back and go, okay, let 2003 or 2023 turn the page. Things are looking up next year. Yes, BJ for the win.
Now, you want me to just blast right through all these? I'm going to read these matches fast, and we don't need to talk about them too much as far as predictions go because I couldn't possibly. I only recognize maybe one guy in each of these matches.
Oh, don't worry.
This is the undercard.
By the time we get to the main card Saturday, we'll have a lot to talk about. So, yes.
Well, yeah. So the undercard, It's Mikheyev versus Devin, Russ versus Tucker, Carl Stanley versus Ben LeClaire, James Clark versus Troy Brown, Rance Clayton versus David Hobbs, Russ versus Tucker. And then there's these supporter appreciation matches. Mark Edwards versus Trey Suit, and Brandon Scott versus Robert Gould. Which brings us into...
There's also David Till versus Sean Hancock, too. There's no picture photo, but it's on there.
I have that on a different day.
So
we have... So if I read the undercard from Saturday, we have the supporter matches as Sean Hancock versus David Till, Jeremy Thornton versus James Johnson. And then we have the undercard is Craig Soublier versus Roger Learned right-handed, Daniel Price versus Dane Sellers, Mikheyev versus Justin on the left, Hunter versus Jeff on the right, Luke Pulsher versus Robbie Karsten something. Craig.
And Luke's going to be the head ref too, by the way. So
hey, and Luke's going to be reffing. And Andre Sharp versus Daniel Price on the left arm. But we got this main card here. And
before we go to the main card, you're going to fly out two guys from Florida to pull each other in Arkansas?
I guess.
And I'm talking about Daniel Price and Andre Sharkovich.
Yeah.
I mean, that could happen. I mean, I guess it's on a bigger stage, so I kind of get that, but, you know.
What happened to the Corey West Pavlo match?
Is it not there no more?
It's not on the list that Michael gave me.
Did you forget?
Oh, my God. I wouldn't think so. But
Neil's in the house. Neil Pickup. Good morning, Neil Pickup. How we doing?
I'm not keeping up with the chat today.
When Neil dropped by. What's up, Neil? How's everything going? Hope everything is going good with you. Hope you had a they did Thanksgiving the same day we did, right?
Neil, the problem is this is the same length as this, but this is gray. So it looks like it's Okay, main event. You ready, Jody?
Yes.
Let's do it. Main cards. Dustin Hyatt versus Jake Houston, right-handed.
That will be for the 165 title, I believe. And right now, Dustin is the current Monster Factory champion in that weight class. And it is not going to be easy for Dustin. I think he does pull it out, but it is not going to be easy.
I will go the other way, and I'll say he does not defend.
Think Jake Houston will take it, huh?
I do. I don't have a lot of strong data to back that up, but I do think that's the one.
Well, Jake Houston just beat my Lord. My brain is like off kilter today. He had just won a super match maybe a month ago. Neil, help me out. Ohio police officer, dude. Same weight class. Damn it. Now go ahead. I'll find his name. Go ahead.
What are we talking about now? You want me to go to the next match?
Yeah, go to the next one. I'll find it.
We got Brandon versus Dallas, but it's on the right arm this time. This is main.
That might be.
Yeah. And we kind of jumped the lead a little bit because Dustin and Jake was the main event.
Got it. It was Kevin Palco that Jake Houston beat.
Yeah, there he is. Palco.
Yeah, Palco. That's who it was. So Jake just beat Palco in a super match. I mean, that raised some eyebrows. I was like, wow, because Palco's coming off a couple stints at the dark card and that kind of stuff. So yeah, so I see why you would pick Jake. But Dustin Hyatt, he's been there too. So I say Dustin wins, but not by a long shot. So
yeah. And then, of course, we got Brandon versus Dallas. But this time, it's on the right arm.
If I say Brandon, would that surprise anybody?
It wouldn't surprise me.
I'll say Dallas left
That's
hand.
who I was going to pick anyway.
Yeah, and I'll say Brandon right hand.
I'd say Brandon gets in both arms.
Thanks. Oh, well, there you go.
I think so. I think Brandon has kind of come into his own more so lately. I think he's going to be too much.
Right.
And if he can stop, I don't know how you do it, but like I don't like that style where you basically set up for the slip.
Well,
there's a lack of Dallas
is,
slander. Well, I don't have anything bad to say about Dallas Langston. He's always been
nothing. And it goes back to styles, right? Everyone has a different kind of style that works for them. If you look at Dallas, he basically, if you want to break everything down, could Dallas get away with that kind of style at a WAF or IFA, where you're not even holding on, you just go like that, like you're not even holding on?
It's very unlikely that he would get away with that. Like he would need to adapt
Right.
how he, blatantly bails out. So I don't know if he would get away with that at that level, and I don't even know what's going on because the quality of refereeing is, a little bit suspect even at those levels lately. Maybe because all of our best referees got split in half and half of them went to one organization, half of them went to the other, and we're filling in the pieces.
Right.
Yeah. I don't know. It's a theory.
No, I agree. I get that. I get it. I get it.
And then we've got, in my opinion, this is the match I kind of want to see the most. Like Paul Lynn versus Artem.
Left-handed. Yes, because Artem, and here's it. Artem's been the machine. He's been going off the. If there was a definition of a road warrior, that'd be him. And I don't mean hawk and animal. I mean, this guy has been going to tournament after tournament, pulling this guy, pulling that tournament over there. That guy's been putting in some serious miles. Now, the question is there some wear and tear starting to happen?
Well, I don't know.
Just being honest, because
I think the real question here is I don't know how good Paul Lynn's left arm is. Do we have any who has Paul Lynn pulled recently in the left arm? That's Jay Clean said it there too. I don't think I've ever seen Paul pull a match on the left. I don't recall ever seeing Paul pull a match on the left. Now, Paul is an athlete. He is maybe the most pure athlete in arm wrestling. He is he's a savage when it comes to training. I don't think he can beat Artem's left arm.
No, you're right. He is a savage when it comes to training, but when he's training, going to his events at the East vs. West, he's not pulling left. He's not training left. There are workouts where the compound workouts, if you're bench pressing or deadlifting, you're going to use both arms. But when you break everything down, if I have a match right-handed, ain't too much going on with the left, as example.
Yeah. Well, yeah, Jay, he wouldn't have accepted. Of course. But sometimes you do a match because it's fun. Let's face it. Artem's better arm is his left arm. Can we agree on that?
Yep.
Paul Lynn's better arm is his right arm.
Correct.
Does Paul Lynn losing to anybody left-handed hurt him on any level anywhere else?
No.
So he's really got nothing to lose, and he's coming here to have a fun match with a guy, and I kind of like that.
Like the 64-man Super Series coming up next year, it's right hand. The first class out is the 242 right-hand class. I got nothing to lose because my right is so pedestrian. It's so bipolar, And we could talk about that maybe next week or whatever, but no, we can't because then King of the Table takes over that. Never mind. We can do that down the road. But
King of the Table. King of the Table doesn't have the most amount of matches, though. But there will be lots to talk about coming out of those matches.
Hermes.
Who Who's Hermes pulling? We're getting over it. We're getting into it already. Who's Hermes pulling again?
Vitali.
Right. Yes. Yes, yes.
Hermes.
Well, what do you want to do, Jody? You got a soapbox today, Jody?
Yes.
I don't know what it is. So
we're Scott. We're Scott. We're Scott. Okay. Come on, Scott. This is
I gotta hear it.
Time to chime in. The minute you say soapbox, this is where Scott does this. But first things first. Welsh Wolverine, did Jody enjoy UK Nationals? You know what? That gave me something to watch. You talk about some guys that battle over there. Man, I'm telling you right now, those dudes, and like I said, I'm not gonna sit there and crap on my countrymen, but watching their nationals, those dudes be getting after it, you know. Yeah, about the death of the Pac-10 or the Pac-12 because the fact that our coach just dipped on us before the biggest game of the year, the Civil War, Oregon State. He bails, and yeah, I don't even want to get into that. That's just gonna raise my high blood pressure. But here we go. See, Arm Sports Video. See, I knew it. I swear, Scott's probably working. And as soon as I say soapbox, okay, I'm listening now. So, gentlemen, today's soapbox. Why is it that we cannot have multiple organizations with all the same weight classes across the board? Why is that? Sometimes that bothers me because when I was younger in the sport, I mean, I got into it at 35, but in my early years, I would sit there and be like, okay, I got to cut weight for this event, but not cut weight for that event. And that would bother me. And I wish that all tournaments had the same weight classes. Why is that?
Well, historically, it was because some of us use the metric system, and then some of the American organizations still did things all in pounds or whatever the hell you call that thing you use down there. But we
even pounds or kilos, it's the same thing. Just use
it is the same thing. It is the same thing. You want to know my theory on it is everyone tries to be an individual, and sometimes it's to the detriment of the sport. Everyone wants to do their own thing and set themselves apart. That's why we can't agree on a unified set of rules. That's why we can't agree on a unified set of weight classes. We can't. So even in other kind of niche sports, like it's hard to call mixed martial arts niche anymore, but there was definitely different rule sets in different organizations. If you took pride in UFC, there were just, completely different sets of rules on what you could do and get away with. Even the round times were different. The weight classes are all different. I don't know.
And I'll go ahead and break it down from a IFA/WAF standpoint. Worlds, Nationals, call it what you want. Now, WAF Worlds, you have a 190, and we'll go 198, right? 220. You can't even see my hand, huh? Stupid background. So 198, 220, 242, 243 and over. There's 4 weight classes there. However, on the IFA side, 189, 209, 231, 231 and over.
That 231 class always threw me for a loop. Like it was that's set. That came in the AAA years and years ago. Yeah.
That was the old AAA weight classes. And I'm like going, what the hell? So it's just weird to me. So if I'm like right now, I walk around 230, right? I probably have to cut a few pounds here and there just to make sure, just to give myself a cushion. If let's just say IFA Worlds was next week, okay? Pulling the 231 class, I would make sure I'm like, all right, I got some work to do. I want to cut a few more pounds just to make sure I fall underneath the weight class. Whereas if WAF was next week, I wouldn't care because it's 242. It wouldn't bother me. I wouldn't try to worry about trying to cut the 220. And that's the deal with that, So it's just weird. I went to nationals 2017, right? Reno, Nevada. No, sorry, Lake Tahoe. And there's a 220 class. Cool. I got there, waited at 216, whatever, no big deal. When I did the IFA Worlds a couple years ago in Florida, in the Masters, there was the 105 kilo class, which in American, that'd be 231. So there you have it. And it's like going, okay, I just wish everything was all across the board. All doesn't have to be now, but just tournaments in general, Just my pet peeve. I don't know how you feel about that. I don't know how the chat feels about that. That's just me, though.
Well, in Canada, we had a rule that we would follow the WAF weight classes. We didn't have to use all of them, but we followed them as a guideline. So if the class was going to be 110 kilos, then it followed in line with them. So we might have half the amount of weight classes at a big event, but it would line up with them. So it'd still be 154, right. 176, 187.
I had a question.
Talking in pounds.
If you can highlight Jay Clean's comment, the last
Which one? Which one about the Mexican wrestler? That was actually Alberto Del Rio, Jay Clean, if you can believe that. Which one do you want me to highlight?
About adding the one for that one. And I'm gonna ask a question because if the Welsh Wolverine is still on and Neil's on in Britain or England, let me know what weight classes you guys have over there. Now, while they're doing that, Jay Clean, yes, I do think they should add a 115 because, again, what Justin was saying, in today's age, a 231 is too small for a super heavyweight cutoff. I agree with that.
Even so in powerlifting, there are weight classes that go up into the 300-pound range. So a super heavyweight, if you wanted to cut down to the lighter class, I think I remember at one time that class was 275 pounds.
Right.
So you could still be pretty big and get down there. If you're talking about UFC, the cutoff is 265, and they don't allow super heavyweights.
That's why Brock was always looking lean when he was in MMA, UFC.
He had to make sure he was light. Yeah, for him. So, I mean, look at the monsters now, okay? So you could even take a guy like Devin, who is, has been up around that 300-pound range. Levon has crushed that. He's gone so far. Levon, Georgie, Zauer, guys like that are all, way into the 300-pound range. If a small super heavyweight, like a 270-pound super heavyweight, is tiny in comparison to those guys.
And it's not fair because going back to what they were saying in the chat, like Justin was saying, 231, it's like, what the fuck? Dean just said that 105 kilos, is that what he said? Yeah, 105 plus is, that'd be your super heavyweight. Dude, 231. If I walked in at 232, oh, dude, really? You know what I mean? As opposed to somebody who walked in at 245. Because, we all talked about, hey, 243 and over was always your super heavyweight when we got into the sport. And when you do that, and I'm not complaining for me, I know some people are kind of miffed about the different weight classes. I understand that. I totally get that. But you have to go to the tournament what suits you. If that means WAF, then fine. If that means IFA, then fine. I walk around at 230, and I'm okay with that because I don't want to be any heavier than that. I just know that I don't have to sit there and watch what I eat. Like this weekend, right? Washington State. Okay, there's a 242 class. No problem. I will walk in there. I will have a fucking chicken strip if I want to and not worry about trying to cut weight. I don't have to sit there and do all that. 231, I'm walking around. I wake up at 2:30 now, but just to make sure, I'll make sure I watch what I eat. Like this week, I'll watch what, not this week, but when I go to nationals next year in April, I'll depending on where I'm at, I'll probably start making sure I'm well under 230, maybe a few weeks prior to that, just to make sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
I'm
all.
probably
But it's
not going to
just
pull it. I'm probably not pulling at the Nationals.
you're not going to the. Don't you got to do there? Don't you have to go to that to go to IFA Worlds?
Nope.
Explain that one.
Well, we in Canada, there's no real qualifier because CAWF doesn't belong to either organization at the world level. So you can go based on nationals, you're not guaranteed your spot. So it'd probably be pretty easy for me to grab a master's spot. And I'm not even sure if the IFA limits the amount of entries per class. So at WAF, you have to have it's your top two or your two representatives are the only ones allowed into the class. I don't think they've come far enough with IFA yet to do that. Yeah.
Jay Clinton says Nationals was probably going to be a clown show. Well, what Nationals are we talking about? Because there's one that promotes Nationals and the other one doesn't. So,
yeah. Yeah. So Welsh Wolverine just still says no limit on IFA. So there you go.
yeah.
I'm coming for the Welsh Wolverines world title in the Masters division.
Yeah. So he is the reigning Masters super heavyweight champ, is he not?
Yeah.
Or did he win it last year? He won it this year or last year?
No, I think he's the reigning. So, yeah, Scott, we don't really qualify. We need permission from a certain person in Canada. And Jay Clean is talking based on last year, Jay Clean, you would be correct to assume that it would be a bit of a shit show. Hopefully none of that stuff repeats itself. That's also one of the reasons I'm not arm wrestling at the Nationals in 2024. So here we go. I'm going to go to the Worlds basically without having to go through the Nationals. And
Roger Kingham's in the chat. Have you seen Roger Cole?
Yeah.
That guy got so much intensity, man. It is like, dude, that dude can pull, by the way. Sorry, I didn't mean to get off track. Yeah. I just saw him in there. I had to give a holler out to him. That boy can pull.
Canadian National is going to be massive. Scott, I'm probably going to come and ref. So here's the thing. It bothers me. It bothers me that to go to a tested event, you have to go through an untested event. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Because
most guys have no intention of going beyond that tournament.
Well, what sucks is because I know firsthand that it's not what it used to be as far as nationals and worlds. It's not what it used to be. We got so much other stuff going on now, the one-on-one format. And like I said, I'm glad. And that's pretty much took a spotlight, which, I get it. I'm glad to be a part of some of those events, because you can really test yourself. Jason Merle's in the house. See, here we go. But the thing is, though, if I want to go for a national title, something I've been wanting for a long time, the highest I ever got was third. If I want to go for a world title, something I've been trying to chase, and the highest I ever got was second, in the Masters, then when I win that, you don't want to have that empty feeling that you won, but who did you beat to win? And I've always told people in the past that, you know what? You're not responsible for the people that do and do not show up, right? You're not responsible for those guys. But I know deep down that, okay, did I beat the best? Because there's so many other organizations and events going on out there that they kind of cater toward that. And I get it, because in this sport, you got to do what's best for you. Whatever your goals are, whatever you want to do, whatever footprint or fingerprint you want to leave on the sport, you got to do what's best for that. And I know if I go ahead and win that, obtain that, there's always going to be the asterisk. Yeah, but did you beat so-and-so? Yeah, but who was there? And I get that. I'm not stupid, but it makes it kind of sad, because it's like, you can't be in a conversation. Like if I won a world title, right, or a national title, can I sit there and you and I in a hotel lobby room, chit chat, about world titles, I would be like, you know what? I'm gonna be doing this. Take over, Ryan, because I won a world title, but it ain't like the world titles that you won. You know what I mean?
I don't
I'm
even
just
know where
being
to go with
honest.
this, man.
I'm not trying
Yeah.
to take away from anything because I'm in that category.
Yeah.
You know? So
I think
that's
anyone
just
that goes and wins a world title needs to be respected for their accomplishment because it's
right.
not their job to make sure everyone else shows up. They did what they were supposed to do. They showed up and they won. And there's
Still
all this
totally
what if
respect
this happened? What if that happened? What if this guy showed up? What if who cares? You won the world title, move on.
Yeah.
It will go down in the history books as a win.
Right. Hell, there were times where, and maybe you can shed some light. And no, I haven't thought about wearing steel toe boots, Jay Clean, but I might wear them this Saturday. But Ryan, you tell me, back when Nemiroff was like at the peak of its performance, and you had all those stars there, one could argue that might have been the tournament of all tournaments to know if you won that, you are the man. Yes or no?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, well, it kind of depends. I mean, back then, yeah, that was the one.
All right.
That was the one. But the Worlds was still like WAF was the hardest tournament in the world to win.
Yes.
And even though they gave away a couple hundred, like the amount of weight classes is just staggering. The
Every 11
the amount of weight
pounds.
classes. Hey, yeah.
Yeah, every
So
11
it's still, yeah,
pound.
it's still the toughest thing.
Now,
I
when
still
you
think I go to
pull,
Worlds and I win Masters. I win the Masters division. I still think I can do that. WAF or IFA.
there you go, Dean. He said it. Now, when you won your world titles, how many entries are we looking at in your class? How many competitors?
2018, there was like, I don't know, somewhere in the 20s. There was, maybe more, maybe less. I don't remember. There was a lot of guys. Like I went to a lot of world championships. It wasn't just the ones that I won. Like I went to several that I didn't win, and the classes were deep. But after 2001, I never finished outside the medals.
Right.
So, that was an accomplishment too. I thought. I mean, I was pulling guys like back then it was Pushkar. There was times when Marcio was in there. Like there were some killers, man. Christian Binney was in the final with me the last time I won the open class.
Yeah.
And he was
Do you see what I'm saying? Like we're talking like, man, you got to be a stud to even, come out of there to make the podium when you got 20 plus dudes in your class, right? And like the only reason why I say that is because once again, I'm really excited about this. Come March, for those that don't know, I'm gonna be talking about this because this is monumental. That 64-man Super Series. Think about that. Not 64 entries for a tournament, 64 guys in one class. Think about that for a second. March Madness, call it what you want. Like there's gonna be this side of bracket all the way down to the guy, and then that side of bracket all the way down to to the meet. And I'm telling you, think about that. Have you ever pulled a tournament where you had 64 guys in one class?
Yes. Only once. And it might not have been that many guys, but I remember being a huge amount of guys when they had those monster WAL tournaments.
Mm-hmm.
Like they were huge. There was thousands of people that showed up because that's when they did the regionals and the finals on the same weekend.
Yeah, just crazy. So think about this. And like I said, I'm saying it now, but we're going to talk about that down the road because it's not until March. But something groundbreaking, and the fact that I'm a part of it is just, dude. When you got $5,000 on the line, that is the top prize. It's all or nothing. Like, hey, $5,000. So, and there's some stuff behind it too. I have to let you know. If you got 45 seconds after the show, I'd like to let you
for
know.
sure.
But yeah,
For sure.
so I wish, going back to my original thing, I wish that all weight classes would be the same all across the board.
Hey, Jay, to answer your question, I don't think Christian is active currently.
No.
But, I mean, he's talked about it. And the most recent thing I think he did was, didn't he have a PAL super match before the pandemic?
Yeah, one of those Vendetta ones.
Yeah.
I forgot who he pulled, but I remember it was a left-hand match.
I remember I pulled him at the Worlds, and he told me, "You're never going to beat me again." And then I went down to the Harley pool, and I beat him again.
See, those events, think about it. No more Nemiroff, no more Harley pool. I'm like, those were events that, man, I would love to. The Mike Gould, that was a big event. And it's like, it's sad those events are not there anymore, because you talk about, man, some stud. Doesn't matter what weight class you're in, there's going to be some studs everywhere. It's kind of sad that it's not there anymore, because those are the tournaments you used to look forward to,
Yeah. It was wild. Like, if there's ever a motorcycle getting given away again, I'm going.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Was that the Harley pool where they give if you won your class, you got like a key or something like that?
Yeah, I got a key and mine didn't start it. And then Maxim won the bike. It was a Canadian won the Harley pull the last time they had the Harley pull. Mm-hmm. Devin won that motorcycle at that other event. And then there was that Mustang at UAL 8.
Was that the one in Huntington Beach?
Event. Yeah. And it was a Canadian that won the car too.
And you see what I'm saying? Like, that's probably, aside from the wall tournaments, that UAL number 8 in Huntington Beach, where everybody had like you knew what weight class by the color of your jersey, that's what signified what weight class you're in. I mean, hell, just your class alone, Ryan, you, Lupke's, Mike Gould, Berzink jumped up in there, Eric Waffel, Michael Todd, Jerry Cataract. I'm like, damn. Like Derek Smith was, you see what I'm saying?
Yeah. Man, I love those days.
And I'm glad. I think we're starting to slowly get back to that, which is why you guys got to hit up the Aries rating system, and props to Corey Miller and Frank Callahan, because they're trying to bring it back. They're doing every weight class, 64 guys, $5,000 up. $5,000 is the purse. But he's not doing it for the cream of the crop guys, because you guys are always getting a shine anyway, which is, you guys are doing your thing. But this is for the guys who are kind of like mid-card. And the only reason why I'm there is because my right hand is trash. That's the only reason why I'm there. So there you have it. Yes, good morning, Russ.
I can't wait for, the potential of the World Armwrestling League coming back also gets me pretty excited.
They got, man, stop like with the carrot. Stop with the carrot. Like, say something. I'm serious, man. Like, and Ron, you probably know more than most. I know you know more than me about it, but it's like, stop with it. But are you going to break out the new year? Like every new year, okay, it's January 1. What are you going to hear from Wall? Nothing. Like, dude, you're killing me, right?
Until we do.
I still got my file cabinet sitting right over here.
I can't tell, man, because your background's.
Well, it's to my right.
When you move your hands, they go away.
I got a file cabinet sitting over here, and I still have my WL contract prior to COVID kicking in.
Yeah.
And then, so I'd be kind of wondering, obviously I'm not under contract anymore, but I'm wondering, those who had contracts, I'm like, okay, are you going to pick up those same guys you reached out to, or what? That'd be interesting.
Yeah.
But yeah.
And you know what we forgot to do, because we got kind of swept up in the aftermath of North versus South.
Hit the like button.
Is we we have an agreement from somebody to come and join us on the show, we should follow up with that.
You're right. Not gonna let the cat out of the bag, but it's something major.
Yeah.
You got that? You got that contact number of that person?
Of course I do. Yeah.
Let's hit that up, because man, I'm telling you right now, when that particular athlete comes on the show, I will table any conversation for that particular. Damn it, Jay Clean, you're killing me, man. You're killing me.
Oh, yeah.
You are killing me. You ever
Anyway,
notice
buddy, we got to wrap it early today.
He's never came back after that debacle. You ever notice that?
Oh, not on the show. Not on here.
Yeah.
But,
yes, yeah. I know you got stuff to do, but if you can hang out for like a minute, then
yep,
we can do that. Everybody, short show today. No worries though, because this weekend, lots of stuff going on. Monster Factory number 5 is going to kick off on Saturday. Washington State's kicking off on Saturday. I'll be a part of that. You can watch the Washington State Championships on Arm Sports Entertainment, streaming on YouTube. Monster Factory, go to his channel. I'm sure that event will stream there too. Dean Bolt, thanks for joining us. And yes,
it's not a pay-per-view. It's membership-based, I think, on his channel. So go buy a membership.
Yes, there it is. Dean Bolt, yes. I can't say enough that Nationals there was awesome. Loved it. Everybody, yes, Jay Clean, all you Michigan people, enjoy. Jonathan Smith is your coach now. I'm still pissed off, but it is what it is. It's part of the game, you know. So
long, everybody.